Hey everyone, and happy Mortgage Tip Tuesday! It's your favorite girl in the whole wide world. Hashtag who? That's right, it's hashtag JLone in the building. I hope that you're having a fantastic start to your week, as many of us were off yesterday because of Martin Luther King Day. And then of course, how about those Cowboys, right? All right. I can't even say that right because you all know I'm not a true Cowboys fan, but they looked great yesterday. They beat Tom. So I hope that they continue to go on because my teams are out of the running here. So now I have to pick up and cheer for someone else. So I hope that they continue on their run. I do want to see Dak do really well and the rest of the boys on their Parsons and things like that. So before I get into my Mortgage Tip Tuesday, I just want to talk to you about what today is. Today is National Customer Service Day. And of course, this is my favorite day because of the fact that I am the Customer Service Award winner for so many years that I just want to acknowledge this day in that I am no one without a customer. And so when I get a customer, it is super, super important to me to make sure that I take care of that client as much as I possibly can, because my business, one, is 100% referred. But most importantly, I try to treat everyone as if I want someone to treat my own family. And that's how I've always got into this business, because I didn't grow up fortunate. And I always wondered, how would people have treated my mom if she didn't have good credit or a lot of assets? Would they provide her the necessary tools and skills or advice and pathway so that she too could have owned a home? Or did she always get doors closed on her? And so I never wanted people to feel that way. And so I don't like the word no, although we can't help everyone. I try my best to make sure that they are provided some type of path so that maybe it's just a not now. And I think maybe because of that is why I continue to win the award that I care about, which is you, right? Caring about the client. So if you are dealing or you're very loyal to someone, a lot of the times when you give great customer service, money is never an issue. And I say that to say I'm very loyal to people who treat me well, regardless of the rates that they charge. And so I appreciate all of my clients. And again, thank you again. So now we're going to get into our Mortgage Tip Tuesday. And I wanted to talk about, because I had a client call me and we were talking about owning a second property. And with that came things that they were not aware that they would need to have. So sometimes you can have the money to purchase an investment property or a second home, but you don't have the other part of that, and that is called reserves. So I wanted to talk about, one, what is reserves? What does that mean? And reserves are typically, you have all of this money, and we take all of the money that you have, and then we back out everything that it costs for you to actually close on the loan. So your down payment, your closing costs, things of that sort. And what is left is considered your reserves. This is how much money you have left after you have actually closed on the loan. And what happens is sometimes if you don't have strong credit, or you want to buy another property, assets could be a make or break as to whether you get the loan, okay? So what counts as reserves is super important, because you have to know you have to have a certain amount of money in order for you to close, but you also have to have a certain amount of money after you close as well. And so can you be approved or denied for a loan if you don't have enough reserves? 100% yes. I have seen loans get denied in automated underwriting, and then I just happen to ask a borrower, hey, do you have like a 401k? Do you have any other assets that we can add to the file? And then the minute that I add another asset to the file, sometimes it could be as small as $500, you'll see that approval or that denial turn into an automated approval. So it's very important, although people feel like, man, you asked for a lot of information up front. This is why I asked for that, because I'd rather come to you with good news. If you open up your box and you allow us in to get that information, it doesn't mean like, hey, we're gonna make you use this money. It just counts and it makes your file look stronger to an underwriter, because they don't wanna see that you've spent all of your money purchasing a home, and then what happens just in case? What happens if we have a pandemic? What happens if you lose your job? How many months can you continue to make your payments on your bills and your mortgage is what the lender is concerned with. And if you use it all on the purchase of the home, then they're looking at this, and if it's a little risky, it's like, I don't know if I feel comfortable. And so it's just very important, one, to save money so that we can show it to the underwriters, okay? So what are acceptable sources of reserves? That's super important. Is, well, what is considered a good source of assets? And you can sell an asset, right? 401k loans are good assets. Your checking or your savings are good assets. Many people don't know this, but the cash value of your life insurance is considered an asset. Your stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, all of those are considered assets. So your trust account, mutual funds account, things of that sort are all considered acceptable assets for reserves. And then there's also unacceptable sources of reserves, and it's important for you to know those. So one, funds that aren't vested, funds from retirement accounts that prohibit you to withdraw before your closing date. It's very important to know that, because here in Texas you have your teacher's retirement or your TRS, but in those the rules of disbursement, it specifically states that you cannot touch those funds unless you quit or retire. Well, that's not considered a good asset, because in order for you to get those funds, now you don't get income. And so those are not acceptable sources of retirement. So we will always ask for the actual 401k and the book of the rules of disbursement, so we know when and how you can actually withdraw from the account. So personal unsecured loans, you can't use those. Lender contributions, you can't use those as reserves. And then cash proceeds. So if you're doing a cash out refinance and you're gonna have all this money left over, you still can't use those as reserves on your loan either. And then gift funds, it's a yes and a no. It would be too long of a video for me to go into whether you can or you can't. I will tell you some loans do allow it, and then some loans do not allow you, like Home Possible or 3 to 4 unit property purchases or manual underwrites. Those all don't allow gift funds. But again, I just give you this information so that you can kind of listen to it, but then I always want you to call me so that I can give you the real deal on your specific story, so that I can particularly help you. And then, do construction loans require reserves? Yeah, we offer construction loans, and even though they are interest only during the build phase, we do require a certain number of reserves in order for you to do a construction loan with us as well. So if you're ever in question about what a reserve is, do you have enough reserves? I will tell you this: save your money. And as a first-time home buyer, if you are looking to buy a home, underwriters are really looking. If you're trying to get a grant, you don't really have a lot of money in the bank, this is a situation where an underwriter can go either way and tell you yes or no based on the fact that you do not show that you know how to save money. It's super important for you to start doing that now. Forget the past. You can do it now, and then you can come to us later when you've accumulated enough reserves. I really tell people at least 3 to 6 months of your bills is super important for you to have anyway. So if this helps you, please like, comment, and share. Until next Tuesday, have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye-bye.